In just a few hours, we're going to see the Chicago Bulls take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I'm here to let you all know why. Josh Giddey's OKC Thunder revenge game is going to be tough. Y'all make sure y'all stay seated, stay locked in, because we about to talk about it. But you already know you got to hear the music first.
Cognac. Gang.
Shabo's podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on a daily episode here. So if you're tuned in with me, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. Now, man, look. This is one of the toughest matchups of the season for the Chicago Bulls, especially because the Oklahoma City Thunder, man, number one team in the Western Conference for an absolute reason. One of the best teams in the league for an absolute reason. And the Chicago Bulls are trying to find themselves etching up the Eastern Conference standings, currently sitting at 9th. Now, I want to focus more in on Josh Giddey on today's episode, simply because a lot of us think this is the Josh Giddey revenge game, including myself. Just last week, I was saying, hey, I can't wait to see Josh Giddey play versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Josh Giddey is out there showing love to his former team, showing them love, giving them the praise for the season that they've been having. But hey, after all that praise, it's time to lock in, my boy. It's time to lock in, my boy. Now, Josh Giddey is coming off a very, very tough night versus the Dallas Mavs. Look, I ain't going to hold you now. Me and CDubb, Steve-O, Big Kev, we've been holding it down on the live calls. Couldn't really tend to the live call this past Saturday simply because we was having family game night and we had to kick it with the G-Ma and the moms. You know what I'm saying? We had to kick it. But we were still watching that game, and it was hard to watch this game with the way that the Chicago Bulls was playing, and more specifically, the way that Josh Giddey was absolutely playing. In that game versus the Dallas Mavericks, Josh Giddey went 3 for 12. Had 8 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds, and was benched in the closing lineup to close out the game in sake of Dalen Terry. Wasn't too mad with the decision because I absolutely believe I don't give a damn how good you are. If you're not a superstar, you getting your ass out of the game. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a good moment that we got to show love to Billy Donovan in, is that if guys are not playing particularly well and they're not giving me the best chance to win a certain game, look, regardless of what it looks like, regardless of what the perception is, hey, sometimes you got to sit a guy down and let his ass think about what he's been doing in the game. And Billy Donovan has done it with Montes Buzelis. Billy Donovan has done it with guys in the past. And in this past game, he did it with Josh Giddey, and I understood it. There could be some difference in opinion about that, but it is what it is. Now we are trying to move on, because in that Mavs game, the Mavs pretty much said, hey, Josh Giddey, we know how you want to play bully ball, attack the basket. The Mavs said, nah, we ain't letting that happen. You seen the defense that P.J. Washington was putting on him. You seen him going into crowded paints and where they was forcing him to take bad shots and do things that was pretty uncharacteristic of a Josh Giddey. And it was a very, very tough night for him and a tough loss for our Chicago Bulls, with a strong chance to just stay close within that 8th seed. And things are switching up between that 7th through 10th seeding. You see the Mavericks they win and they leapfrog the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Hawks slide down. Now they're the 8th seed, and the Chicago Bulls sitting right there. And the Miami Heat look like they might be playing good basketball again. So things are getting really, really interesting. But hey, sometimes those games happen. And now after that tough loss, you got to get ready for this game right here versus one of the best teams, if not the best team in the entire NBA. And just before we move on to talk about why this revenge game is going to be tough, Josh Giddey last game, minus 14 for my people that like to look at the plus minus. And in this case, the plus minus makes sense. In some cases, the plus minus don't make sense, but in this case, a minus 14 for Josh Giddey, it makes absolute sense for how he played. And I hope that he's ready to go and have a bounce back game. It's not the end all be all. Players have bad games all the time, but this game right here, you got to be on the money. I'm talking about focus, not trying to do too much, but you got to be focused on a task at hand. Now, why am I saying this is going to be a tough matchup or a tough revenge game for Josh Giddey? Is simply put, we know the Oklahoma City Thunder are the number 1 seed and got 62 wins on the season. We know the Oklahoma City Thunder, they got a lot of talent. We talking about a bench full of lottery picks is what it seemed like, and more picks to come. Hey, we ain't gonna revisit the trade, so don't be in the chat talking about revisiting the trade. It's okay. Let's focus on this game right here. But one of the things that I'm keying in on is why this game is going to be extremely tough for Josh Giddey is simple, but the Oklahoma City Thunder defense is crazy. If you're looking at the stats and looking at how these guys play, and you marry the play with the stats, and you kind of wonder why they are at the top of the Western Conference, with many believing that they have a chance to at least, at a minimum, make it to the Western Conference Finals. They are first in the West, first in defensive rating, first in steals, fourth in blocks. For a Chicago Bulls team that we seen their success come mainly off of attacking the basket and then kicking out and having guys open and hit open shots, or when those things are not working from the outside, they want to attack the paint and put pressure on the opposing defenses. Ooh, it's a bit shaky for the Chicago Bulls in this matchup right here. And then when you talk about Josh Giddey and him, this being a tall task for him, they know all his tendencies. He was on the squad last year. This time last year, he was on the damn team, practicing with the team, hooping against the other guys, running through game planning and all that stuff, trying to cover up some of his deficiencies, leaning on some of his strengths. They know this player. So you have to anticipate that they're gonna throw some things at him that he understands or that he's seen before, and definitely gonna have some things that he hasn't seen before or that they've picked up that some other teams have done. More specifically, the last game versus the Dallas Mavericks. Look at some of the things that they've done against Josh Giddey and say, hey, here's some of the things you probably seen before. But hey, I seen the Mavs do this too. Come on, we coming to add that on to the game plan as well. So Josh Giddey has a tall task ahead of him. And one of the things that's going to be crucial in this matchup is how Josh Giddey navigates with so many players and bodies being thrown this way. We talking about Luke Dort. We talking about Alex Caruso. We talking about SGA. We talking about Jalen Williams, who is a game time decision. But if he plays, you can still expect somebody else to come up in there and try to cause havoc when Josh Giddey is trying to operate. It's going to be essential and it's going to be key that Josh Giddey plays smart basketball, play great high IQ basketball, and make good sound decisions. He doesn't have to go out here and drop 25, 10, and 10. He does not have to do that. But what you cannot do is put yourself in a position as Josh Giddey to where you're absolutely hurting the team like you did versus the Mavs. You have to go out there and be decisive in what you're going to do offensively. You have to slide your feet and not get yourself in foul trouble on the other end, because those guys are going to attack the basket as well. Those guys are going to try to get themselves extra opportunities on a possession. They're trying to get themselves and be the aggressor and play with some physicality. Josh Giddey got to come out the gate humming. And then once he comes out humming, he got to keep the foot on the gas, because the moment you let off, the moment you let doubt creep in your mind, it's going to be a long night for you, Josh Giddey. It's going to be a long night for you, guy. This is making it out to be one tough revenge game for Josh Giddey. And keep in mind, I know it's going to be a lot of us saying, hey, the Bulls play better on the road anyway, because that's what I'm like, hey, we on the road? Hold on. But then I looked at the damn stats. Then we look at the records. It's hard to beat OKC and OKC, my man. Oklahoma City Thunder are 32-5 at the crib. They don't lose that much at home. So the Chicago Bulls are going to have to play good, sound basketball. If you think you about to go down 17-18 and roar back to a victory, I don't know, gang. Look, anything can happen in the NBA. Anything can happen in the NBA. We seen crazier games. We just seen a 12.6 seconds just changed, just had a city up in up in the clouds. We just seen that 12.6 seconds. And then they fell flat on their face versus the Mavs. They fought back, you know what I'm saying? They threw some bows back, they threw some haymakers, but they didn't get it done. And that hurts. And tonight, it can hurt you a lot more. This is why I come out and say we live in the moment. Don't move too fast. Don't move too slow. We stay in lockstep with the team, game by game. This is game by game. This is a game by game basis with the Chicago Bulls, because if you get too far ahead of your skis, they're going to smack you down on me. You know what I'm saying? They're going to hit you. So you got to take this for what it really is, Josh Giddey. And obviously, I want to make this clear. It is a big night for Josh Giddey, but it's not only on Josh Giddey. It's not only on Josh Giddey. Billy Donovan, you know he's going to rely on Patrick Williams. I would imagine he's going to rely on Pete Will to go out there and guard SGA. You're going to depend on Nikola Vucevic and some of your other bigs to go out there and help out in other places. You're going to depend on Kobe White to still be electrifying. You're still going to depend on some of the other guys that are coming in who are expected to see more minutes, like a Julius Phillips, a Dalen Terry, since now Kevin Huerter is out for tonight's game. You're going to have to depend on everybody. It's going to take a collective game of basketball for these guys to pull out a victory versus the best team in the West. It's going to take a collective. It's going to take everybody being on their P's and Q's. But obviously, with this being a focus on Josh Giddey and his quote-unquote revenge game, we honing in on Josh Giddey, because Josh Giddey, I don't want to see what I seen this past Saturday. I want to see what I seen versus the LA Lakers the other day. I want to see Josh Giddey go out there and damn near put up a quadruple double. That's just me and petty, but it doesn't have to. I mean, that's me being selfish. I don't want to say petty. That's me being selfish and hoping that he can rise to the occasion and shut some people up by getting a victory, because I'm going to root for the squad. But I do understand, with the reality and looking at things for what there really is, this is going to be a tough matchup. Josh Giddey has to remain within himself, but he got to come out with some fire. You got to come out with some fire. I know y'all been in those moments to where you like, hey, to hell with putting in a 2-week notice. I just got this other job. Oh, y'all, bleep, oh, y'all. I know I seen it out of y'all before. Y'all like, yeah, bleep you, bleep you, bleep you, bleep you. You know what I'm saying? So Josh Giddey got to come out and hoop and say, SGA, I know you a dog. I know you MVP. I already know, but bleep you, bleep you, bleep. You know what I'm saying? So it got to be some hard-nosed, tough basketball, because these are what the moments are made for. These are what the moments are made for. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like the Chicago Bulls, if they win this game, the season's over. It's not. Even if they lose, the season's not over. But you got to come out here and show something. What I do know is they're going to come out there and show some heart. But don't put yourself in a bad position to where you down heavy points versus this team, because they will lay it on you. Alex Caruso still out there can slide those puppies. Still going to go out there and give you Swiss Army knife. You think he ain't excited to play versus the Chicago Bulls? Shit. You think Lou Dort don't want to match up against Josh Giddey again? Shit. You think OKC don't want to ruin Josh Giddey's return? Shit. Come on now. So it's going to be a tough one for Josh Giddey, but we're going to see what happens. And in just a couple hours here, me and CDubb, we're going to be live. We're going to see if Steve-O or Big Kev pop in, but me and CDubb will be live calling this game, and we're going to see if the Chicago Bulls can pull one out of the hat. We're going to see if they can pull one out of the hat. It's going to be a fun, interesting game, and we hope to catch a lot of y'all there to cheer on the squad. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell, man. Turn the bell on, man. Y'all don't want nobody walking up to your door unexpectedly. Don't you want to turn the Ring camera on to where that big somebody coming to your door? So turn on the bell. So when we go live, that mug, and then let y'all know that we live, so we can see what the Chicago Bulls are made of tonight. Because Saturday was a bit disappointing in my evaluation. I ain't gonna hold you now, but turn that bell on, so when we hear you able to pull up and have a great time calling this game, so we can see what the end result will be. And whatever the end result will be, we still gonna have a good ass night. We still gonna have a lot of fun rooting on this team. But hey, that is it for me, y'all, man. I appreciate all the love and support that we've been receiving these last few weeks, especially throughout the entire tenure of calling and being on Shy Boys Podcast. Make sure y'all continue to go ahead and support the team, man. One of the best up out there. I appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all always see red, and y'all already know. I'm gonna catch y'all later, for sure.
Cognac. Gang.